Hello devs, today I'm starting a series of videos to build an entire app. The app is going to call it My Time Report. Main functionality will be to track our time spent through the day, and when you enter the app you can enter what you do in the last hour, minute, what you want to track. Associate two categories, and I already made a mind map. In the first step, we're gonna create an app. We're gonna create a database with the structure of the categories and entries. I'm creating the screen to view all the entries and create an entry creation screen. So the categories going to be some parameters, so title, description, color, and icon. And the entry is only a free text and a category associated. So let's make an app, create a new app. Let's go. So to start a new project, just open the Android Studio, click on New Project, select Empty Activity, Empty Compose Activity. Is this one with the compose symbol. Click Next. Change the name of the app, My Time Report. The package name, it's going to be your website in reverse, and the name of the application. So the rest I'm gonna leave as a default and click Finish. Now already built the project, and the first step, create an app, is already done. Let's save this to GitHub to save our progress. I'm gonna create a GitHub repository, so share on project on GitHub, holding my account information. Have to add some Android. Okay, share, and creating all the things for me, initial commit, and add. Okay, so create the project on GitHub. And now the first thing we need to do, as you can see, create the database structure for categories and entries. So to do that, we need two things. We need the dependency injection to help us managing all the objects creations, and need the room database to create our local database. So let's start with dependency injection. And for this, we're going to go to open the Gradle project file and the Gradle module file. In here, you're gonna add some spaces. So for Koin, let's add some comments. Koin dependency injection. And in here we have to add implementation, platform, and this going to be, I'm going to copy this from the documentation. I will leave the link in the description. And the dependencies we need is going to be the Android implementation, the Android compact for the older versions, and the Android X.compose. I think this is all the implementations we need. Let's convert to the new way, to the with version tone. To do that, press Option Enter or Alt Enter in Windows. CD, the platform keyword disappear. You have to add it so to work properly. Then click Sync, build the project just to check if every dependencies is okay. The project is building, so gonna add the commit, add Koin dependencies, commit and push. Okay, he's complaining about newer versions, so let's change this. Sync now. So this we don't need to add to the repository. Every time you start a new project, start with the latest versions, because it's a good practice. So now we don't have, you can check again, commit and push, and now we don't have any error or warning. We can push safely to the repository. So now gonna implement the dependency injection. Is very simple. So in here we're gonna add some package to respond to MVI pattern. So package data, package model, and package presentation. This UI and main activity goes inside the presentation. And now we're gonna add a new Kotlin class file. I'm gonna call it app. You call it what name you want. Going to add this, and this going to extend application, and we're gonna override the onCreate method. Init dependency injection, and now we're gonna create this function. So in data, I'm gonna create a new package, dependency injection, and inside I'm gonna create a new Kotlin class file. Gonna call dependency injection, gonna be a file. Going to add, and in here we're gonna have a function application dot init di dependency injection, and in here we're gonna start Koin with Android logger, Android context, this, and Koin dot load modules. List off, and gonna create in here a new module, call it val data module. It's equals to module, And for now, we don't pass anything inside here, but since we created the database, we're gonna pass in here. So in our app, we will have to import this init UI, and in our manifest, we need to add our app file. Okay. So as you can see, the dependency injection is very simple to implement and bring you a the much easier way to instance of the class. So the app is running and the dependency injection for now is finished. So I'm gonna commit again, implemented dependency injection. I'm gonna commit, need to see the warnings. So in team we have an unused import, and the manifest, this label can be removed. Delete label. Okay. Commit and push again. Everything is okay. So goes to the repository. So now we're gonna add the room database. So first is the dependencies. Go again to Gradle project and Gradle module, and going to add all the needed dependencies. In the Gradle project, we're gonna need 2 plugins, and we're gonna to call it in the module in plugins. So we need a schema directory for room to work with, and we need the dependencies. So is going to room database. It's going to be KSP room compiler with a version 2.6.1, and for coroutines working properly, we need this room Kotlin with the same version of the compiler. So need to add this to the new array, and sync now. Every time you add dependencies, build the app to check if every dependencies are downloading correctly. So the app is building. Gonna push to the repository, added dependencies to room database. So commit and push. Now gonna start our database implementation. So in the data module, add a new package, database. In here we have a new Kotlin class file. It's going to be time report database, and in here we need our tables. In room calls entities, so package entity, And the first one going to be a data class of category. And in here we need a primary key with auto-generated true, var id, long. Let's check on mirror, check what we need. Okay, our category have to have a title, a description, a color, and an icon. So to do that in database, going to call var title, going to be a string, var description, going to be a string optional, just in case that the user don't want to add a description, var color, going to be an integer, also optional, and var icon going to be also an integer, optional. So color and icon, it's integer because we're gonna refer to the ID of the color, and the icon is going to be in integer. Just to finish this category, we have to add a special markdown called all entity, and inside table name, going to call it categories. Okay, I made a mistake. It's not category. I have to rename it. So category entity. Okay, now it's good. And now I have to add the another one. So data class, time, entry, entity. So in here also I have a primary key, auto-generate true, var id instead of long. We have a title, it's going to be a string optional, and we have a var category ID. It's going to be a long, but in here we need to add some special markdown. It's calling column info, name, and category underscore ID to be more readable on the database. So in here you have to add the entity also, table name, and call time underscore entries. Okay, in our database we have to add a special markdown to database. Version is going to be 1. The entities is going to be our category entity, class, and the time entry entity class. Okay, let's convert our class to abstract. Let's extend from room database, and then we're going to create a component object and build, pass the context, and it's going to be equal to room dot database builder. Give it the context, give it the name of our class of the database, class Java, and give it a name. So time underscore report dot db. It's going to be the name of our database and call it build. So now in our dependency injection, going to add a single time report database dot build and pass the context. So just run to see if everything is okay, and the database implementation is done. So going to commit, added database implementation. Commit and push, push. So in the time entry, I forgot to add the start time and the end time. So in here, we're gonna add var start date time. It's going to be a date. Need to import util, and the end time is going to be also a date, not optional. So for this to work in Room database, we need to have a converter. So let's create that. Create a new package. Call it converters. And in here, we're gonna add a new Kotlin class file. It's going to be date converter. So inside here, we're gonna add a companion object. Gonna add a value Unix timestamp equals to current timestamp. For now, we don't need this value, this variable, but if you want to add some default values in here, you add this value to generate the default value. So in here we had type converter, and the function we need to do is toDate, value of the string, import class, not ask Gemini. This is not okay. And we need to return value dot wet, and in here we need to try, because we're going to convert it, val formatter we need to import all of these, and formatted dot parse iterator. So we need to add a catch. Parse exception. And returns no. And we need to add another type converter. Let's see what Germany with subjects so from date string date let formatter, okay, format and Unix timestamp. Let's remove this because I want to return the formatter. And now we need to go to our time report database, add a new markdown type converters, import, and add our date converter. Import, just to maybe in the future can add more, just add this value and date converter. Plus. So now we need to uninstall our app because we don't do the migration. And run it again. Okay, everything looks fine. And for this video is everything. For this video we do the creation of database and structure the characters and entries. In the next video we're going to create the screen to view the list of entries and create the screen to enter the creation to insert time entries and manage all these in the database. So see you in the next video.